What's up, guys? It's TJ here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today I want to talk about some scriptural support that we have for those of us who are on the no-fap community and on the semen retention community as well. I want to talk about the fact that we have ancient support. You know, we have, if you look back in certain ancient literatures, you'll see that there are many references to semen retention, and those references shouldn't be glossed over. And when I first started diving into this specific literature that I'm going to be going into is what's called the Vedic literature. Some people call it Hindu, but it's not really Hindu. Hindu is just a categorization. It's really called Vedic, and Vedic means knowledge. So this is from the Vedic scriptures, so I'm just going to read some of them that I found that I like. So I'm going to read them all, and then you'll start to see how the sages really, there was so much emphasis on semen retention. In the beginning, Brahma created four great sages named Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. All of them were unwilling to adopt materialistic activities because they were highly elevated due to their semen flowing upwards. So they're talking about the semen flowing up the spine. Yes, you can do that if you're really nice with it. Through your breath somehow. I don't know how to do it. If the semina is saved, it fertilizes the brain for sharpening the memory, and if there is good memory, our higher consciousness becomes perfect. This is in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. If semen is not discharged unnecessarily, one becomes extremely strong in memory, determination, activity, vitality of one's bodily energy, Even though one does not undergo any austerities, penances, or ritualistic ceremonies, if one simply keeps himself in pure brahmachari, not discharging his semen, the result is that after death he goes to Satya Loka, which is a very high dimensional plane of existence apparently. Austerities are like voluntary, like someone that's meditating might go sit in extremely cold water for a long time while being in a meditative state to kind of gain pious favor and spiritual potency and stuff like that. It's kind of really overcoming materialistic discomfort, and they're saying you don't even have to do that kind of stuff. Semen retention is just as high as those kinds of sacrifices and penances. Yogis and transcendentalists who want to live for greater spans of life voluntarily restrain themselves from discharging semen. Now, what's interesting is in one of my other videos that I'll post here, we were talking about telomeres and telomerase and how that has to deal with like the degradation of cells and how it correlates with keeping the cells healthy and stuff like that, avoiding cell death. Semen is meant to be discharged when one has a home, a wife, and the intention to beget children. Otherwise, there is no injunction for discharging semen. I thought that was interesting because they're giving certain like it really is true. Semen is just for, you know, procreation. It's not really to be used. It's kind of a waste otherwise. I mean, I'm not perfect, but it's just interesting that the way is laid out, you know, it's laid out for us. I'm going to read this one off of my computer, and then one last one, my favorite one. Where is it? The faculty to discharge semen is the cause of death. Therefore, yogis and transcendentalists who want to live for greater spans of life voluntarily restrain themselves from discharging semen. I'm going to read a couple more actually. The word Urdhva Retasa in this verse is very significant. It refers to one who can control sex life and who, instead of wasting semen by discharging it, can use this most important substance accumulated in the body to enrich the brain. There are many yogis living up to 300 or 700 years by this process, and in the Bhagavatam it is clearly stated that discharging semen is the cause of horrible death. So, and my last favorite one, which was said by Lord Shiva, you, in addressing God, Shiva was in prayer addressing God, the Most High, saying to God, you are the possessor of semen, which is like gold. I just love that. And you could see how like extra emphasis they put, the Vedic scriptures put on the importance of retaining semen, and like they try to stay away from the discharging of semen because of its vital force, its potency. Our ideas are there. It's just, it is where our creative essence lies, and it's our life force. It's our potency. And I said this in one of my other videos, the great sages were considered great because of their ability to overcome, the sex urge and retain their semen. And some of them were so great that they were able to flow the semen up the spine, and that activates some of the activates the chakras, and your consciousness just gets more refined. Imagine the potency, imagine the energy of orgasm going into your consciousness, like into your brain and stuff like that, like illuminating that instead of just you're just like letting it out. Imagine that, the type of spiritual enrichment that your mind would have, and the type of insights that would come. And these souls, these great sages, this is what they were about. This is what they did. And so these are kind of the predecessors that came before us, for those of us who are on this path, this no fap and semen retention path. Like, this is not a willy-nilly path. Like, this is one of the quintessential paths to self-mastery and bettering yourself. And it's the great thing about it is you don't have to do anything. You're not going out and like getting better at something, like something physical. You are just dealing with yourself and your own energies, and that's enough for progress to be made and spiritual potency to be built. Granted, you have to keep in mind too that there are other aspects to this process, that you can't just sit and just not do anything. We have a body. The body is meant to be moved, so you have to use that energy creatively. There's this process called deep work. Deep work is just creative work, and it's very fun. I just came back from Starbucks actually, and I was just diving into some creative projects of my own, and it was fun. It was fun to just sit there and be immersed in my creative work and just have a certain time frame allotted for this project, certain time frame allotted for this project, certain time frame allotted for this project. It's that's all. That creative energy that I'm retaining is being expressed properly in a way that serves. So I just wanted to share with you guys that this path that we're taking is very, very powerful. It is very powerful. Like, it's so powerful that ancient scriptures you can see the correlations of like modern science with the whole degradation of the cell, with the ejaculation, even in the Taoists. I believe the Taoists say that ejaculation, they call it the little death. And here in the Vedic scriptures, you could see how much they're stressing oh, the sages that wanted longer lives would retain their semen because they knew all this semen releasing is just making death come faster. And it's funny because men live way shorter than women, and that's a scientific fact. And a lot of times women are way more stressed, but still we're the ones that ejaculate. So it's interesting that that's in the scriptures, and we see that around us now. So again, I implore you to remain on this path, stay strong on this path, watch the type of content that you're ingesting, because this is going to influence your mind on a subconscious level. So you got to be very aware of what you're taking in. So information like this, that you have support in the scriptures and stuff like that, is good information to take in, because it strengthens the path that we're already on. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. If you guys got anything from this video, make sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. Remember, a greater perspective can lead to a greater connection. Peace.